Amazing. All right, not me forgetting to fill up my water before we go live. Welcome. Hi. I'm trying to add the questions in for today. And it's, oh, wait, edit? Nope. How do I add the questions for today? It's just giving me a folder. Okay, cues. Let's try this. Okay, there we go. We got it. It's been a minute since I've been on StreamYard. I mean, a minute meaning last month, but anyways, I'm just babbling while I wait for folks to come on. All right, look at that. We did it. We did it. Hi, welcome. I'm just adding some banners. I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I figured it out. All right, how's it going? Welcome to today. Super psyched to get into our topic. I have so many notes for us to go through. So many notes. The biggest one is the goal setting one. It was funny as I was starting because one of our topics today is do SMART goals work? And this actually came from our back to business workshop that we had a couple of weeks ago. And somebody was talking about how much they hate SMART goals. And I love SMART goals. And here's the thing, you can love them or hate them. There's so many different ways to set goals, but it spurred on this, hey, let's talk about it. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And that's like, it's like a huge section for today. So let's get into it. First of all, welcome everyone. Hello, if this is your first time, welcome back. If you've been here before, for those folks that don't know me, my name is Lindsay Johnson, aka the Radical Connector, and I teach visibility and sales skills to entrepreneurs who are struggling to get themselves in front of their future customers and then facilitate a sale, make a sale happen. Everything I teach is through a consent-based lens. How do we do away with manipulation, coercion, icky marketing and sales tactics, and sell in a way that really centers our customers' needs, not our sales goals, but still make us excellent money for getting to do the work that we love and the work that has a genuine impact on the people in our worlds. I would love to hear who's here. So tell me in the comments, who are you? Who are you? What do you do? What's your business? And if we know each other, say hi. I was going to grab the back to business replay because I mentioned that. And if y'all want to do it, here is the link. Oh, wait. Hang on. Hide. There we go. Hey, Stan. Okay. Did the comment go? There we go. There's the back to business for folks that want to come and register for that. And this is going to take you right to the replay page. It was fantastic. It was amazing. It's a chance to reflect on any new ahas or epiphanies you had over the summer break and really think about, where am I at in terms of my goals for 2024? Am I on track? Am I a little bit off? Have I lost the plot? How do I get back into it and make a plan to really finish the year strong? But the conversations we had were magic, and the support that y'all were giving each other in the chat, magic. It was such a magical day. So you can get to the replay there if you haven't already. So we have Suzanne, we have Marit, we have Suzanne again, yep, and Emma. Hey, Emma. All right, friends, let's get into our first topic today. I'll have links to share with you and things to discuss. And as always, tell me your thoughts in the comments, ask your questions, give me your 2 cents. I'm always wanting to hear what your suggestions are. And especially if there's anything that maybe lands funny, maybe you don't agree with it, maybe it's a little uncomfortable, or maybe you think of it in a different way. I would love to hear that, because there's no one right way to do anything, especially in entrepreneurship. And so I'm going to throw out some of my thoughts. I always would love to hear yours. Hey, Satora, what's up? I recognize you. You're in the membership, right? The free sales membership. Welcome. Hello, Jen. And a fuck yeah laugh. Like, fantastic. I just remember I'm not supposed to swear in the first, like, however many minutes of going on to YouTube. Whoops. Yay, this is your first one. Welcome. Okay, so our first topic for today, friends, is staying focused on your bigger vision versus staying focused on the day-to-day work. And MA, if you were at this group discussion, you might recognize this topic a little bit because this did actually come up in my mastermind last week, the week before, and we were talking about how easy it is as entrepreneurs to have that like big, bold vision, right? Like where we really want to take our businesses, the impact we want to have on the world, all these ideas that are constantly brewing in our heads, all these things we want to do. And it's so easy to get like and fun to get swept up in that future vision of the things we want to do and want to create, but we can very quickly lose sight on the day-to-day work that we actually have to do. And this can be a touchy subject, I think, because we can have a really complex relationship with work and working, and especially when it's something that's outside our comfort zones, which visibility, marketing, sales is oftentimes out of our comfort zones. Would you agree? Tell me in the comments. Give me an idea of how you feel about marketing, visibility, and sales. Okay. So when we have these things to do as a business erne and we feel uncomfortable about it, we tend to avoid it. Natural, right? It's pretty natural as a human to avoid things that aren't comfortable. I think that goes without saying. And so what happens is we end up hiding. I'm going to say it. We end up hiding in busy work. So we do all these things that are like growth adjacent because they keep us busy in our business and it feels like we're doing something. But yet, if we're being perfectly honest with ourselves, there really is no actual growth happening, no movement. We are not moving the needle. We are not making important new connections. We are, or maybe we are, but we're not leveraging that into moving the business forward, into getting more sales, into developing our reputation out there, our brand visibility, right? And so that's why I kind of say hiding, because it's a way for us to hide behind our phones, hide behind our computers, and not do anything that's going to meaningfully move us forward. Let me know if you can relate to that while I quickly check out the comments. Did it review work is no bad thing. Tricky still feels so new to me and doesn't come naturally to me. Yeah, very scary. Yeah. Hey, Shabnam. Hi. I was just thinking about you this morning on the car ride home from the grocery store. I had to go get some cashew milk early this morning, and I was thinking of you. I don't know why, but you popped into my head. Marketing and sales feels like customer service to me, or I try to frame it that way. But visibility is a sticking point for me, and I sometimes don't know meaningfully. I feel like you maybe ran out of characters. I'm just going to share a thing. Yes, I fully agree. To me, marketing and sales is just customer service. Because if you've been around for a while, you know that I talk about how I want you to view marketing and sales as simply getting yourself, your business, your brand, your products and services, right? Getting yourself in front of the people who are already looking for you with money in hand and make it clear and easy to buy from you. So if we look at marketing and sales that way, it is just customer service. If we stop looking at it as convincing the world, right, and saying there are people right now looking for me, it is my job to get in front of them, let them know I exist, and make it really easy for them to engage with me and buy from me, right? Customer service. I love it. Marit, we have actually takes a huge effort putting myself out there and making connections. It does. And we're going to talk about that today because you're right. It does. Eliza, fantastic. Thank you. Great to meet you. Unless we've met before. I can't remember. I feel like, didn't we just have a call or have a call coming up? I'm like, I recognize you. Oh, you were thinking of me too. Okay. So when we talk about this idea of looking at marketing and sales as customer service, and we talk about this idea of being focused on the big vision, not the day-to-day work, what does that mean to you to be focused on the day-to-day work? What is the day-to-day work, right? I often say to folks, when we start a business, there is such an appeal to being our own bosses, right? I mean, that's why I do it. One of many reasons. I've had very few jobs, traditional jobs in my lifetime, and I've hated them, every minute of them, because I hate having a boss. Shocker to anyone that knows me. So yeah, you are your own boss, but did you know that you're also your own employee? I mean, unless you have employees that are doing all the work for you, right? You are your own employee. So you basically have two 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 very important roles as an entrepreneur, right? Because you are the visionary, but you also have to do the business development, which means you have to do the revenue generating activities, as well as, the bookkeeping and the accounting and the creating the contracts and all that admin stuff, and creating the content that you want to do if you're going to be in content marketing, and actually delivering the thing that you say you're going to deliver when you make a sale. As a business owner, it's not just, let me just do what I want to do. I only want to do business strategy all day long. That's it. I only want to do YouTube lives all day long. That's it, right? We started business thinking, oh, I have this thing I'm really, really good at. I just want to do it all day long. The thing is, that really isn't your job as a business owner. That is like your job as practitioner, right? As practitioner, I deliver on the amazingness, on my brilliance. But as business owner, you have a very specific job to do in terms of business development. And then, of course, admin and whatnot. So in terms of business development, what does that mean to you all? When I say business development, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? Do you know how to define that? I'm going to read some comments while we're doing this. We have one coming in. Yes, I knew we did. I'm like, I know I recognize your name and your company name. Yeah, and my boss is crazy. Yeah, my boss is a pain in the butt. Yes, we're the innovator and implementer. Yep. Yeah. So when we think of how we define business development, that's just developing new business, getting new sales, or developing opportunities that will lead to us getting sales, right? And so the day-to-day work needs to be focused on that. How am I getting sales or developing opportunities to get sales? And that's why we talk a lot about the revenue generating activities. And who can name all 4 revenue generating activities that I talk about? I'm going to give you the answer right now, but you can put it in the comments too. So the first one is networking. Right? Networking. We need to be building our networks. We need to be building new connections, right? And the 4 types of people we want to be connecting with is, of course, customers and clients. We want to be going and meeting our customers and clients, getting on those sales calls, right? Letting them know that we exist. Number 2 is collaborators, people who have a shared audience, but do something different. These will become referral partners, affiliate partners, collaborators. You might do events together. You might do podcasts, exchanges. They'll make introductions for you, whatever, right? These are the people who you share an audience. So there's a lot of opportunity to collaborate. It's how you get into other people's audiences, right? The third one is other leaders. So leaders of organizations who can open doors for you, bring you onto their stages, right? Make important introductions for you. So think about, like, I do a lot of speaking and training for organizations like Startup Canada, Rise Helps, Futurepreneur, Small Business BC. I do a lot of work with those organizations. I want to be connecting with the leaders there who are going to be bringing me in to do some work for their communities, right? And then, of course, the 4th one is business besties, right? How are we making business besties? The people that we will grow up in our businesses together. So when we're thinking about networking, those are the 4 types of people we want to meet. And I'm curious, yes, public speaking, it, Petra. This is Petra, right? When we think of the networking, I'm so curious, how many of you focus on networking? How many of you prioritize building relationships with those 4 types of people? Yes. Okay, good. I'm pretty sure it's your last name, right? Trying to, yes. How many people are prioritizing networking right now? I do now. Yes, MA. MA sent me the best video the other day. I saved it. I think I showed it to a few folks. And MA was like, Lindsay, you're going to be shocked. What did you say? But following your system works. And this is all the new clients and the opportunities I got. Getting better at it. Is it Eliza? Eliza, right? Not Eliza. Eliza. Marie, my dog would be a perfect. Dogs are perfect networks. Honestly, we got to bring that golden retriever energy into our networking. Steven, hey, what's up? Probably the thing out of the 4 that I do most. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Me, as suggested by you. Yes, I know, Shandam, you've had so much growth and moving the needle just in terms of what your company is out there doing, right? Like how it's out there being presented and all the work you've been doing. I'm so psyched for your public speaking things that are going to be coming up. Emma, you were super surprised though, right? Oh yeah, I was totally shocked that you were doing what I told you to do and that it worked. Totally shocked. Yeah, Eliza, perfect. Okay, so we have networking, right? We've talked about that. Then the next thing is public speaking, right? RJ number 2, revenue generating activity number 2 is public speaking, right? And this is where that visibility piece comes in. And this is where accessing other people's audiences come in. So I have a question, and we're going to talk about social media today. How many folks post on social media like, I don't know, it's your full-time job? Like you're making carousels, you're making reels, you're making stories, you're constantly posting all the time because in your mind, people have said this is what you should do. And also this is how I get visible, right? Posting on social media, on your own channel. How many people spend at least 5 hours a week posting on social media in some capacity? This is sweet. Thanks, Shabnam. How many people are spending at least 5 hours a week posting on social media? This is where a lot of folks get stuck, is there's so much pressure to be on social media that y'all spend way too much time there thinking that's what's going to get your visibility. But the thing is, it's actually getting into other people's audiences. And that's why we want to focus on public speaking. That can be podcasting, being on panels, getting on stages, doing lunch and learns, doing workshops. I don't know, like going into summits, bundles, things like that. It's any chance of YouTube lives, right? I got some really cool YouTube live interviews coming up soon, right? Like getting into other people's audiences to grow your visibility, getting out of your own world. You want to get out there and pull them into your world. So who here is focusing on that? We've got making content for socials for sure. Man, Suzanne, I can't wait to get started with you. Oh my gosh, we got to book your first session. I forgot to talk about that today. We have to actually book your first session. I'll send you a link later. I can't wait to get started. I do, but I only get from 0 to at least something since a new business. Don't want to continue with that. Yeah. A lot of folks tell me, yeah, Petra, a lot of folks, when I ask them, if you didn't have to be on social media for business, would you post as often as you do on social? Would you be as active on social? And like literally 9.9% of the time, 99.9% of the time, entrepreneurs are like, no, I would not be on social as much as this. I wouldn't even be on social, period, right? For some folks. And so that's a really good insight into why your business can feel like a drag sometimes, because you're literally doing things you don't want to do, right? Shabnam, imagine a hired person to do that before I met you. Yeah, that was the first thing I told you to stop spending money on, eh? I was like, stop spending money on a social media person. It's not what you need right now. Go spend it over here, right? Because you do need to spend money in your business. You do, but it's where you spend it, right? I used to, although never 5 hours, 1 to 2 max. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, so excited. For me, it's a case of the cobbler's kids having the worst shoes. I do social media for literally everyone except myself. So Stephen, my question, and I know you were at the discussion at the CGLCC the other day, but my question is always going to be, is social media your number one sales driver? Right? Or is it more of a like trust builder? Is it more of a container? Right? So if it is a driver of business, then yeah, you want to show up there more. That is considered a revenue generating activity if it generates revenue. If it's not, get off it. And we'll talk about that more in the social media question, just in a probably about half an hour-ish. Okay. Yes, I am so glad I followed you. Yeah, me too. Can I tell you, friends, that getting you to stop spending money on things that you don't need to spend money on and stop spending time on things you don't need to spend time on makes me so happy. And the look of relief on your faces when you're like, I don't have to do that. No. I'd rather be engaging on socials and creating content. Yes, you nailed it. So that brings me to this idea of, with social media, how can we use it to network, to connect, to build trust, to build relationships? Social media is a powerful tool for building your business. But that doesn't mean it's creating content. There's other ways to use it. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. All my email subscribers and sales have come from social media and I enjoy it. Fantastic. So this is a case of, if social media drives new business, then stay active on social media, right? So we talked about revenue generating activity. 1 is networking. 2 is public speaking. 3 is community building. And I'm going to come back to Petra's comment in a second. 3 is community building, right? So this is where we create a container for all the folks who maybe aren't ready to work with us yet or buy from us yet, but they want to stay connected. Or a container for super fans who may never spend a dime with you, but they will be your biggest fans, biggest cheerleaders. They will pull people into your world. They will share your content. All right. So community building is another revenue generating activity. And then number 4 is, of course, content marketing. And that includes social media, SEO, so YouTube, blog, email, and then, of course, paid ads. Okay. So it's kind of a big container, but you'll also notice it's the 4th one I recommend. And oh man, I don't want to get into this yet because we have a social one coming up. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to tell you why it's the last one I recommend in just a moment. That being said, in Petra's case, if it is driving business, then stay there. Go into it, lean into it, do it more, figure out ways to really optimize, learn that algorithm, right? Get yourself out there, right? But if it's not driving business, we need to take a look at those other 2 things, networking and public speaking, because for most service-based entrepreneurs, that's who I primarily work with, that is going to drive business so much faster, easier, and like generally with 0 cost, right? Maybe a price of a ticket if you're going to a networking event or something. I'd actually love to be on written social media if there were long, thoughtful discussions and they would create money, thinking about community building. Ooh, that's something I'm going to noodle over. I had somebody once, they asked a question in a Facebook group, can I build a business without ever doing a sales call? And I don't think I shared it publicly, but my brain loves to noodle on these things. So I'm like, I'm going to make an entire flow of how you can do sales without doing sales calls. That being said, do sales calls, friends. Get to know your customers and clients. I'm a big believer when we have a fear, we need to move past it. We need to do the work to get through that fear. And I'm talking about a fear like hopping on a sales call. If it's like I have a fear of swimming with sharks, I mean, if you want to challenge yourself to do that, you can. But hang on, I gotta close my window. I personally don't need to get over that fear. I don't need to swim with sharks to have a higher quality life. But what I'm talking about is getting over the fears that are affecting your quality of life or affecting your quality of business experience, right? Hang on. My goodness, there are so many sirens and trucks. It's so loud out there. Suzanne, I genuinely love social media as a regular person, but 95% of my clients have come through word of mouth. Exactly, 5% from Facebook groups. So if 95% of your clients come from word of mouth or referral, right? How do you build your referral market? How do you build your referral partnerships, your referral network, right? That is the day-to-day we need to focus on. Can we just ignore the fear? Yeah, you can. Absolutely. But it's going to affect your quality of life because the things that we are afraid of now that we don't address, they just get stronger and louder as we get older, right? And so I do believe if there is something, and can I tell you, I'm so stubborn. I'm a really stubborn person when it comes to not liking that I can't do something. So if there is a fear holding me back from something, I will figure that out and lean into it. I remember the very first time I went on a roller coaster, I would have been maybe 8 years old probably. And I went with my mom. It was my mom and me and my brother. And so that's how little we are. We all sat in this roller coaster. And if those are anyone who is Vancouver and old enough to know, is the Big Gulp at Playland. This is a new roller coaster that had just come out. And we went down that first hill and I came out of my seat and I was convinced that I was going to fall out of this thing. And that was it. I was in pure terror for the next 1 or 2 minutes, however long it was. I screamed. I was in terror. That was it. I was going to die. And in that moment, I thought, all right, I developed the thought pattern of I don't like roller coasters. I'm afraid of roller coasters. And I would avoid them forever and ever and ever. And I remember going to Playland and later as a teenager, I was probably 16, 17. And all my friends are going on the roller coasters and I'm holding everyone's bags, right? As I was like, because I'm afraid of roller coasters. So I was holding the bags and I'm watching them and I'm realizing no one is dying. Everyone is getting off and they're smiling and exhilarated and it was scary, but they had a really good time. And I was like, this is stupid. I drove us all the way out here and I'm holding bags and my friends are having fun. This is dumb. I don't like this at all. Not at all. And so in that moment, I decided I'm probably not going to die. What if I can reframe fear as excitement? and let me try again. And then I fell back in love with roller coasters. Well, fell in love for the first time with roller coasters. And I feel like that is very much a theme of who I am. Tell me in the comments if you're like that too, or want to be like that. You go, baby Lindsay. Yeah, like I just get so stubborn when fear is holding me back from something, or I can't do something well. I'm really stubborn. But I also am really logical. Like I'm like, okay, but logically, no one's dying. They're having a good time. Like this, I think that your fear doesn't make sense. And so if we think about things like a sales call or putting yourself out there on a podcast, right? Or going to a networking event and introducing yourself to somebody new, or asking for an introduction, right? When we think about these things and we think about the fear behind that, like let's get logical for a second. Are you going to die? Are you going to be hurt or harmed in any way? Is there infinite potential and possibility for cool things to happen? Right? Will this improve my quality of life because it will open up new doors in my business, which brings in new revenue, which brings in great new relationships, and my life improves? So if we kind of take a logical approach to this, I find that helps me a lot, because then I can manage the fear. I can work through the fear. I can take those first steps. And before you know it, like the fear doesn't exist anymore. Like I think about when I first started doing sales calls. Can I tell you? I don't recommend this. Okay. This is why I say cold emailing and cold calling doesn't work. And I could talk at length about that. In my early 20s, I was doing a lot of cold calling for sales. And it is the worst because you do not know this person. You're interrupting their day. You're coming in cold, trying to get them to, it's the worst. I just don't recommend it. Trying to get them to buy something. I'll finish my sentence. But I remember, speaking of roller coasters, the like adrenaline roller coaster I would be on, like to dial the number and my head would be spinning. And I was like, hi, this is Lindsay. And I would be all high pitched and talking all fast. And I didn't care about making the sale. I just wanted to say the script and get off the phone as fast as humanly possible. And then we would, hey, I don't care. I don't even know the outcome, whatever. Sometimes I made a sale. Sometimes I didn't, whatever. I'd hang up and I'd have that crash after that adrenaline rush, right? And I'm like, oh, I got to do that again. And I'd pick up the call and have that adrenaline and have that crash. And at the end of a few hours of doing that, I was exhausted. But now, first of all, I love having sales calls. And if y'all don't know, I'm going to share a video. Actually, I teach you all how to do a free sales call, how to make a sales call and not feel like a sales call. There's the link for that. There it goes. But now I hop on a sales call and it is not even nothing. It's actually fun and enjoyable. It is my favorite thing in the world. Let's make some magic happen. Let's see what we can do. Whether I can help you or I know someone who can, right? So you're going to see these things that cause fear. And the more that you do them and get comfortable with them, they won't even phase you. They will be something you look forward to. I'm going to continue to read the comments, but I want y'all to tell me in the comments something that freaks you out about business development, freaks you out about marketing and visibility and sales that you want to start to work through. Let's see it. Let's see it in the comments. Well, I continue to go through, the easy way out. Ostrich sand sound appealing. Do you know that that's actually a myth, that ostriches don't stick their head in the sand? I don't know where it came from, but it's not a thing that they do, but we all get the analogy. And that's what I mean. I can't put my head in the sand. I can't do it. All right. What do we got here from Murray? I actually use documentary war films and horror films to put my fear into perspective. Yeah. Fear of public speaking. Wow. Yeah. I'm not going to die. Just do it. Exactly. That's a post I shared the other day. I started in a new gym and it's got the line there, but did you die? It's like, did you die? Okay. So what's going on here? I do want to say though, I do want to acknowledge again, and I like to take things to ridiculous lengths to showcase for me how ridiculous my thought pattern is being or my fear is being. But there are genuine fears and genuine safety things and genuine things that are out of, like, don't feel comfortable because they're not a good for you. They're out of alignment for you. I'm not saying to ignore that stuff. I'm just saying the things that would make your life better if you could just get over the fear. Hugely risk averse, or that's what I tell myself. Cup half full, but prepared for every eventuality. So again, watch the stories you tell yourself. I told myself I didn't like roller coasters until I decided to tell myself I did, right? Going to networking events in real life, not just online. Yes, get it. Knowing I don't fully understand the big picture of running my business, and my brain thrives when it has big picture first. Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to talk about that in goal setting actually today. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm the same. I need to know big picture. I can't, if you feed me breadcrumbs, I can't do it. I need to know big picture. And then the breadcrumbs make sense. And then I can move forward with confidence. Right. So back to this idea of keeping your head on the day-to-day work. I want you all right now to take a moment and say to yourself, what is the day-to-day work I need to be prioritizing? And what is the work I need to let go of? So I talked about networking, public speaking. Those are the dynamic duo of fast business growth, right? Networking and public speaking into new audiences. Then there's the community building and then the content marketing. What actually drives business? Is it referrals? Then you need to do a lot more networking, right? Is it networking to get out there and meet your clients and then invite them into a sales call? Then do that, right? Is it, I've been doing a lot of participating in online summits and bundles. That's been a really fun strategy for getting new people into my world in front of new audiences, because it really does help me get in front of the people where we have a lot of values alignment, right? So what is the thing that you need to be doing? Tell me in the comments. And I also want you to write down, what is the thing I have to stop doing? What am I doing right now that, if I'm being honest, does not move my business forward? Does not result in list building, like building your email list, making new connections, getting new clients, getting into new audiences. If I stopped doing this, nothing would happen. Yeah. I'm going to tell you that for most people, it's going to be networking, because the networking is what opens the door. It's what opens the door to everything for you. Right? Does not move my business forward. Does not move my business. Yeah, scrolling on LinkedIn. Scrolling almost never moves our businesses forward. Unless we get ideas for creating content, and our content drives our email list, and our email list drives our sales calls. You know what I mean? Unless it is a part of your content marketing strategy to do some research. But you could pay people to do that if you've got the budget. Yeah, I think that's everyone's dream, to pay other people to scroll. Side note, if anybody needs, I've got a business friend, and she is a company that literally curates trends, social media trends for you across like TikTok, Instagram, whatever, right? She curates trends and then gives you like a weekly, here's the trends to do, here's the content ideas, whatever. If anybody wants that, let me know. I'll figure out the link and come share it for you. I have to just go quickly look it up. But that's how I don't scroll. If I want to jump on trends, I just go look at her weekly recommendations and just go copy them. I don't have to scroll for trends. Stop doing busy work. Start getting people's networks so I can get referrals. Yes. I have so many random freebies in my business for busy work. Yes. Yep. I know. Do you know what, Suzanne? We'll talk about that, because a lot of those freebies that you have, we could probably turn into really cool low ticket offers or tripwires, because you've got them. So let's make some money off them. I think for my design biz, first I have to relaunch it Q4 so it exists again. But also networking. I've historically been mostly referral driven. Exactly. If you're referral driven, you want to be getting the networking going. I feel I should stop sleeping so I could move forward with more speed. Maybe I should drop some demands about the speed of starting a business. And oh my gosh, yes, we are going to talk about that in the neurodiverse tips for neurodiverse entrepreneurs. But yes, okay. Can we? There's so much to say. You can tell when I have a lot to say because I can completely lose my words. There is this like weird thing on the internet. And actually, I'll tell you, it was even before the internet, because this goes back to early days, 20 years ago plus for me, where people would come to me and they would have this figure in their head, a time amount that they figured they would go from 0 to superstar success. And that figure has consistently been 6 months. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago now. People have this thing. I can go from literally nothing to a superstar business owner making lots of money in 6 months. I can quit my job. I can go full time. I can make all this money. I can hire all these people. I can do all these things in 6 months. And when I tell you that most entrepreneurs don't even get over their fear of making a sales call in their first 6 months. And so there's this weird thing out there because all these marketing gurus will push these courses and programs that will tell you they will take you from nothing but an idea to 6 figures in 6 months. And so there's this weird pressure that entrepreneurs put on themselves. But let me tell you the reality. Do you want to know the reality? This might be mind-blowing for some of you, okay? For most entrepreneurs, the first 2 years is your hot mess, spaghetti against the wall. You are still figuring out your market, your offerings, your messaging, your positioning, your sales flows, your revenue generating activities. You're in your hot mess era and you're doing a lot of testing and trial and error and going back to the drawing board for the first year to 2, right? Then the next 3 years, so now this is now 1 to 5 years, right? The next 3 years is going to be your growth and traction years, so momentum years. This is where you're going to now figure out what's working and you're going to be just repeating it over and over and over and over so that you can get a good revenue build going. You got good money coming in. You're able to outsource a little bit, hire some folks, get support. You're opening doors. You're getting on stages. You're getting on platforms. You're building a name for yourself, right? That stage is 3 years, sometimes 5 years, depending on how much time you have to your business and how quickly you figure things out, right? Then the next couple of years after that, we're going to be talking about pre-scale to scale. Okay. Now we're going, all right. I have really solidified my brand, what I'm doing, where I'm going, the future that I want, because I will tell you that the future vision you have for yourself at year 5 is going to be very different than at year 1. Okay. So now we're going to be getting into, all right, I'm going to dial down my revenue generating activities. I'm going to dial up my automating, my systems, my hiring, figuring how I can get work off my plate so I can be the high level big thinker, right? And then those years after that. So now we're moving into years 8, 9, and 10. That's when we're now getting into thought leadership, really getting on stages, getting those books written. You know what I mean? Really just like you are crushing it. Your business is thriving. You've got a good team. You're diversifying your revenue streams. You might be buying other businesses or investing in other businesses, starting something new. Okay. So that's a 10-year trajectory, right? And yet some folks think they can do all that in 6 months. Anyone here a little bit guilty of that? Oh yeah, I thought I could do that too. Tell me in your comments. I'm going to read the old ones. Stop doing, procrastinating, doubting myself, worrying so much about my fluctuating health. I've learned to manage it better. I love that. Now that is more of a internal job. Eliza, I want to know what you're going to stop doing in your business activities that you don't need to do. Where are you going to free up some time? Right? 6 months. Yeah. Right. Yeah. 3 years is more likely. I need to stop following the marketer's messages. Yeah, it's baloney. Don't do it. It'll get you in trouble. It'll force you into doing things business isn't ready for, and it will crush your growth and momentum. I need that 10-year breakdown as a visual. I know I'm working on it. It's something I'm going to be incorporating into my work with folks to let you all have. You know what's really interesting, Petra, with this is that sometimes when I say that to people, it can almost be disheartening for people because they think it's going to happen faster. And the reality sets in of, this isn't just like a flippant thing. I'm just going to start a business, blah, blah, blah. This is actually going to take work and dedication and commitment and growth and effort over time, right? This is why I always tell folks, you need to view your business growth in years, not months. Right? You need to roll things out and extend your timeline over years, not months. That is also, by the way, how we grow faster. Because by trying to do too much all at once, we can't. There's only so much time in the day. There's only so many hours you have, right? And so when we roll those timelines out, those project dates out, those new markets and new programs and services and products out, when we extend those out, we can actually go faster. I don't know what the ha-ha is for, but I'll take it. Good to know I'm on track in year 1.5. Exactly. I was talking to someone the other day. He was feeling frustrated and they're just starting to kind of pop off now. And they're at 7 years. I'm like, yeah, you're right on track. You're right on track. You figured it out. You're making good money. You're ready to go to the next level. 7 years. You're right on track, right? Stop doing tinkering with my Notion setup. Yeah, the tinkering will get us. I would love to be there after 10 years. Heck yeah. We're going to work hard to get you there. I'm in my second month, I think. Wait, I'm in my second month, I think. Yeah. Because I guess for all intents and purposes, this is a new business because you're in a new country, in a new market. Yeah, that makes sense. So you got a long way to go. That's okay because you have a lot of the foundational infrastructure already from it. Oh my God, is it Finland? I forget where you're originally from. I'm so sorry. But you have a lot of that infrastructure from back there that you're now going to bring here in California. Well, there in California. And my dad tells a lovely story of the first month he was in business and did really well. He immediately projected forward that profit. No, wait, I don't know what it projected. I don't know what that means. That profit and went totally crazy with excitement. In the next 6 months, we're a reality check. Yeah, that's like what? Yeah, Finland. I remembered. Okay, good. So a lot of folks, like when they have their first 10K month, they're like, yeah, I made it. Let's go. I'm quitting the job. I'm doing the thing. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's really awesome. But I want to see you when you've hit 10K months consecutively for like 3 months or 6 months. Like I want to see when you hit that because a lot of folks will hit 10K and then like completely drop off after that. This is why also forward. Okay. Immediately projected forward that profit and went totally crazy. Yeah. So because we can have those good months and it's good to have those, that's proof that what we're doing is working. But a lot of times in the beginning, it can be kind of a fluke and we have to figure out why it worked and what worked and then build systems around that and processes around that. So we can duplicate that as easily and as on autopilot as we can, right? So a lot of folks that talk about this, I talk about quitting our jobs too soon. And this is something I've seen a lot of folks whose only goal in their business is to quit their job. I just want to quit my job and go full-time in my business. And that's the goal. And so what happens is they only have the vision of growth until that point. And so they hit it, quit their job, but they don't have a goal or any plan for what to do after that. Right. And also having a job with a steady stream of income versus having to generate your own income. If you don't know how to generate income consistently and easily and quickly, it's going to be real tough if you don't have a steady income coming in and you don't know what you're doing. Right. And so I've seen it for years. People quit their job and then everything falls apart. So the goal when it comes to quitting your job needs to be, I will quit when my business needs me, not based on a revenue goal. Okay. Don't quit your job too soon. Unless it's a crappy job, then maybe find a different job. But that's a whole other conversation. I actually have a video on that. My 4 years has been a total roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah. Yeah. Good. We're going to hopefully get some work going on that. Excuse me. Sorry. I think the roller coaster can't be avoided. You're absolutely right. It can't be avoided because the nature of building a business, friends, is I can already tell we're not going to get to all my topics today. That's fine. I'll roll them out next time. I love this conversation. Let's keep it going. The nature of building a business. This, in case anyone didn't know this, the word radical in my name comes from radical self-acceptance. So the radical connector, the radical means radical self-acceptance because entrepreneurship is going to force you to deal with your stuff and to radically accept who you are, what you like, what you don't like, your potential, your capacity, right? Your limitations, your personality, especially for neurodiverse entrepreneurs, right? Like, or people who are maybe dealing with illnesses or chronic illnesses or disabilities, right? We all have limitations. If you're a parent, if you work full time, if you are a caregiver, we all have capacity and limitations. And we tend to have this like altruistic, no, that's the wrong word. I'll say fantasy, this fantasy vision, this ideal fantasy world vision of our businesses and what it's going to be like to run our businesses. And we forget that our businesses aren't built in a bubble, right? Our businesses are built alongside and in our lives where we have other responsibilities and things that go wrong and things that need our attention. And sometimes the business has to take a back seat, right? Plus the nature of becoming more visible, putting yourself out there, having these sales calls, it's going to bring up all this stuff around rejection and judgment and abandonment and fear. And like, when the high school teacher said this to you and you thought you'd never amount to anything. And now you have to prove it. Like I'm telling you, so much stuff comes up, right? So we have our business. within our life, within our personal crap. I'm not going to say crap, our personal stuff that needs to be worked through, right? So yeah, you can't escape the roller coaster because it's all going to come up on this journey. And so again, because I have changed my wording, I've changed my mental thought pattern from I hate roller coasters to I love roller coasters. How can you take that approach here and learn to be okay with the discomfort and the fear and the emotions? Like, learn to be okay. Learn to accept that this is a normal part of the process, right? Being a business owner, a successful one, a visible one, being a brand that people can't stop talking about, right? Being a thought leader with something to say, the level of vulnerability and leadership required there, the work is going to be coming. How's everyone feel about what I just said? That was a lot. Yeah, I think so too. That was for the roller coaster. I'd like more safety gear. Legit. What is like emotional safety gear? What is psychological safety gear? Love it. I think the safety gear for me is as simple as solid savings. Yeah. Having money. Please don't start a business without money. You need money in your business. You need money to survive. Remember, we do not put the pressure on our baby businesses to pay our bills. Okay. That's what having a job is for, or whatever else, right? Okay. Let me continue to go through my notes while y'all share some thoughts here. So I think I've covered mostly everything here. A couple of things I wanted to share with you. The first one is my busy work challenge. If you haven't done this one already, this is a really powerful one. Excuse me. So this one, I will say that it is very heady. Like, it's not like fun. Like, it's like you're going to be, what I get you to do is map out everything you do in a typical week. Tell me how long you spend on it, figure out which activities are revenue generating, which ones are busy work, calculate some percentages, right? And then get your percentage and then go read the key to tell you what that percentage means. Okay. So it's not like it's like a fun like you're going to be working your brain. But it's really important because it helps you really tune into where your time and energy and money is going, and where you need to lean in and where you need to back off. So go do that one. The other one I wanted to share with you was my 4 Business Building Basics course. So I pretend that I wrote it really fancy. It was just my shorthand. My 4 Business Building Basics, that's where I take you through the 4 basics that you need to know in getting customers and making money, right? So go do those if you are somebody who has realized that you are more focused on the bigger vision and all the ideas that are percolating, and you have lost the connection to the day-to-day work, to the actual revenue generating activities, and actually doing the things that will grow your business. Because remember, your vision, your purpose for you, the individual, is to change the world, right? Is to make an impact, is to do meaningful work. The goal and objective of your business is to make money, or it can't stay in business, right? So we have to be focused on how we're making money in our business. Emotional safety. I can do new decisions if the early decisions don't work out. Yep. You can change your mind. You can try again, right? Solid savings is a good one. Yes. I still have my Social Security disability benefits. I'm not sure the context of this, so I'm going to say good. I'm not sure the context of that comment. I'm so sorry. All right. Okay, cool. I just want to see, I think we've kind of covered everything for this one. How are we doing for time? I want to go into at least one more. Oh, do you know what I was going to say? Okay. I feel like we've kind of really squeezed everything we can out of this one. I do have some more notes, but I think I want to move us on for this topic. But I do want to say, for folks that are not yet part of my IC-Free Sales membership, I do recommend, as a starting point, this is where you come. And I actually have, I have a code here. If you use this code right here, it's going to give you a free month to try the membership. Okay. So this is obviously for new membership members, right? If you're already a member, you're already in it. But this is for folks who haven't tried it yet. This will give you a free month to try it out. What happens in this membership is every Monday you get a visibility strategy and sales script and a challenge to go and implement it. And so if you did nothing else other than open your email every Monday and do the thing I say to do, you are already going to get into RGA mode and start getting sales and start getting opportunities. And then the other thing is we have monthly action planning sessions where you come and you literally map out, what am I promoting this month? What revenue generating activity am I focusing on? What is the specific activity I'm going to do? So if it's networking, who am I networking with? Where am I networking, right? What am I going to be talking about? What do I want to invite them into my world to do? Right? So it's a specific strategy with a whole sales flow. So these sessions combined with the strategies that I set out every month, just those two alone are going to give you, it's going to get you accelerated in your growth and in your sales, because you're going to actually be doing activities that matter, right? They're actually going to move the needle. And then we also do like a live Q&A together where you bring all your questions or have me review, your sales funnels or your emails, whatever. So we also have the Q&A and we have some co-working. It's really fun. So come and sign up for a month and give it a whirl. Remember, for folks that are in the mastermind you already have access to that. So you don't need this. You joined last week. Yes, that's right. I saw you. Oh, I'm so excited. MA. No, that's what I was gonna say. I didn't know it doesn't, because you're in the mastermind. So you already get it. It's already included. Okay. Yes, I talked about being your own boss. Oh, one more point I want to say on this. One more point. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay. Motivation and inspiration, right? I think a lot of us wait around for motivation. We wait to feel motivated. We wait to feel inspired. And I just want to say that if you are sitting around waiting for motivation to do the thing or inspiration to do the thing, it's never going to happen. That is you relying on outside forces to move you, right? And we really have to get good at developing routine, right? And like plans and routines and whatnot for ourselves to do the work, even when we don't feel like doing it. All right. Because I wish I could see you. Give me a show of hands. Tell me in the comments if you agree with this. The actual process of building a business is kind of boring, right? It's repetitive. It's boring. It's doing the same thing over and over, right? This is why we have hobbies, right? Now, hopefully you are doing work you love with people you adore, right? And the RJs that you are doing are putting you into situations that are genuinely fun and enjoyable for you. If they're not, we should probably talk. Okay. But is Shauna here today? This is Shauna. Shauna's a member of the mastermind. And we had such a great group session the other day because they are like a VA, a virtual assistant, right? They do amazing work. And their whole thing is helping basically entrepreneurs like me, the admin, so that they can go and do all the things that I can go and just be on YouTube all day, and I can go and just work with clients, and I don't have to do any of the garbage admin. That's what people like Shauna do, because Shauna loves doing that work, right? But they love working with neurodiverse people, but had in their heads that they had to be very professional, right? Very kind of dry. Their website reminded me of like a law firm's type website. And when you see Shauna, they have like beautiful, like pink and yellow, purple and blue hair. And they're so bright and colorful, and that's not reflected in their branding. And there was this disconnect between, well, I thought I had to look like this. And it's like, no, you can show up as you, look like you, make your brand you, work with people like you. Right. And it just flipped for her. And let me share Shauna's social media, because you're going to see now how they're like, okay, that's it. I'm leaning into this. I'm going to talk, because they're neurodiverse and they love working with neurodiverse entrepreneurs. So they're what is it? Yeah. So they're now talking more about neurodiversity, right? They're like leaning into this, and it's like something just completely opened up for them. What are Shauna's pronouns? They're not listed here. I can't remember if they're she or they, so I'm going to just say they. So they're completely leaning into this, and it's just this like, man, if you are doing work you hate, or you're marketing you hate, or working with people that you hate, you don't have to. Make your business work for you. Make it based on what you love. Right? Otherwise, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? All right. What do we got here? We've got action creates motivation. Need to remember that. Absolutely. You know what? The biggest confidence builder is action. The biggest growth builder, action, right? If you're confused and don't know the answer, action. If you're overwhelmed, action. Literally, it's getting into action, and small action counts. I'm really enjoying the membership. I'm able to take action faster because I provide the how-to and big picture. Yeah, exactly. I love that. Because that's what I need. I need the big picture and I need the how-to. Tell me what to do and I'll do it, right? Yes. Some of the nerdy, weird, fun, but yeah, some of it's weird. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but you know what? We love nerdy, weird, and fun, so I'll take it. And maybe we got the little small. Okay, is everything okay over there? Oh, that was okay. Yeah, wasn't that an amazing moment? Shauna was literally like, okay, I gotta go now. I gotta go do my website. And it's been amazing to watch them lean into it. Like, yes. Okay, friends, let's do one more. One more. So the ones I wanted to talk about today were the other three topics were why social media is the worst way to build a service-based business. I wanted to talk about SMART goals, if they work, and other ways of setting goals. And I also wanted to share some neurodiverse tips for neurodiverse entrepreneurs. Like on that one, that's a really quick one, but I also feel like I could just make a quick YouTube video on that. What one do you want to talk about SMART goals, or do you want to talk about why social media is the worst and what you should do instead? I feel like maybe we should talk about SMART goals. I feel like I talk a lot about social media. You were asking people, oh, this can be really boring. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Great emoji. It can be. This is why I tell especially neurodivergent entrepreneurs who love novelty and are always chasing shiny new things. Please don't use your business to chase novelty. Get a hobby or two, okay? I'm currently taking Queer ASL. Well, it's ASL, American Sign Language, but it's by queer folks for queer folks. So I'm currently in a queer ASL. I have just taken up powerlifting. What else? I got something else that I'm doing. I can't remember right now. I also have been learning, what's it called? Ukulele. Like, friends, do not seek novelty in your business. Seek novelty in your life, in your relationships, in your hobbies. Let your business be boring and let it go make money. All right. So we're looking for SMART goals, and social media is the worst. Okay. You know what? We're going to do a real quick building a business. What's a hobby? Well, Suzanne, hopefully we'll get you to a point where you have enough free time that you can have a hobby. You know what, friends? I've been doing this for 10 years now, my own business. I've been doing this work for over 20. I've been doing my own business for 10. So I got a lot more time to have hobbies. I have a lot of the stuff already worked out that y'all are still working out. So don't sweat it. You'll get there. Oh my gosh. Can you tell me, everybody, what would your hobbies be? What do you want to do for a hobby? What do you love doing? While you tell me your hobbies, I'm going to tell you why social media is the worst way to build a service-based business. Time is okay. It's the headspace. That too. Yeah. I don't like to CrossFit. Yes. Yeah. Fellow fitness nerd. I am obsessed with my powerlifting right now. Although I had a class last night, but I had a conference on Wednesday and I was pooped. Speaking of tips for neurodiverse entrepreneurs, please, if you have a conference or a big thing that you know is going to take a lot of capacity, give yourself the day off the next day. I did not take off yesterday. I don't know why. I didn't even think of it. And my day wasn't too stacked, but I did have a client session, 5 meetings, and then a workout. And I could feel I was emotional. I was tired. I was emotional. I was cranky. I was on edge. Every noise was like hurting my head. I was short tempered. And I was like, I just need to go to bed. I ended up canceling the workout. I just like, I can just, it's an app. I can come on and off because I was like, I can't do it. I feel like I'll hurt myself tonight. I'm too mentally tired. It's important when you're lifting heavy to have good form. I'm like, nah, I'm just going to stay home. It was good. So yeah, please. Remember that we have limitations and capacity. Honor it. You said you're keeping it secret. I love it. I can imagine what it is. Rock climbing. Yes. Monetize my main hobby. I don't necessarily recommend it. Yeah, a lot of folks talk about that. I remember once, oh gosh, we're going to get back on topic, I promise. I have another friend, one of my besties. She's also a Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn. And, you know, Capricorns love making money. If you're into that whole thing, we're good at it and we love it. And it's very natural, right? And so I remember we were talking about something and I discovered a new hobby. And I immediately was like, how can I turn this into a business? How can I monetize this? And she said the most profound thing to me that I will never forget. You know, Lindsay, not everything has to be turned into a business. You can just do things because you enjoy it. Anyone else need to hear that? You could just do it because you enjoy it. Okay, let's talk about this just really quickly, okay? Let's talk about why social media is the worst way to build a service-based business. And then I want to talk about SMART goals. So I'm going to keep this one as succinct as I can because I talk about it all the time. So we talked already about the 4 fast and free revenue generating activities, right? Networking, public speaking, community building, and then content marketing. So social media lives here, number 4. So when we look at the first 2, especially, and number 3, right? Number 3, but the first 2 especially, they are an active activity, meaning you are involved in it. It is not passive. You are involved in this. You physically go online or in person and network, make connections, talk to people, have follow-up phone calls, whether it's a networking call, a sales call, whatever, right? You are actively involved in this process, okay? When it comes to public speaking, same thing. You are actively involved in networking to get the speaking gig and then showing up to do the speaking gig. And you are actively engaging with what should be your audience, right? Like an aligned audience, your target audience, you know? So these are all active things. You can direct people to click here and go here and do this. You're involved. When it comes to content marketing, or sorry, social media, when it comes to social media, that is very active, all right? Because you have to suddenly become a content creator, right? And you are now having to take the time to outline, research, outline, and create content. That takes time, right? Then you have to post it, write the captions, do the hashtags, right? So that's where your job ends. That's it. Now it is up to the algorithm showing your content to your audience, right? And then them liking your content enough to stop scrolling, watch it or read it, go then to your profile, check out your profile, like your profile enough to click on the link in your bio, links, like that enough to be able to go to the opt-in page, read your opt-in page, have that optimized enough that people like it and click to enter their email. Then they got to go to their email. They got to open that email. They got to keep opening your emails. They have to read those emails and eventually buy from you or book a sales call, right? All of that is passive, and all of that is dependent on things like the algorithm and the quality of your copywriting and the quality of your emails and like a bunch of things that you will get good at, you will get better at, because yes, ultimately for a lot of service-based businesses, we want to move into some sort of automated sales funnel process eventually, but that takes time. It usually takes most entrepreneurs about 2 years to really figure out how to optimize their sales funnels to get a stranger on the internet to click something and then make a purchase. That takes 2 years to really perfect that flow, right? And a lot of testing. So in the whole time that you are spending creating all this content and posting all this content, you could be spending that same time booking networking calls and having networking calls. And then all that time it takes, that passive actions that you're just sitting there hoping people do, that your content is good enough that it gets people to take actions, that the algorithm actually shows it, right? All that stuff is passive. You're just sitting and waiting. Right? So again, there are way faster ways to build networking and public speaking than on social media. Okay. So yes, just listening to this process is tiring. Hang on, where did that comment go? Dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee. Wait, where did it go? There it is. Sorry, I scrolled funny. Just listening to is tiring. It should be. It is such a waste, unless you do business this way. If that's how you get your clients, then keep going. But for everyone else, what a waste of time and energy and effort, and sometimes money if you're paying someone else to do it, right? So when we think of social media, you do need it. You want to have a social media presence. You want to have an SEO presence, some sort of YouTube or blog or podcast. You need to have an online presence in today's world. The social proof is very important. Also, if you want to move into some sort of thought leadership, passive revenue streams aren't real. We'll talk about that another day, but some sort of membership or course or product, right? Where you're not doing any one-on-one work. If you're wanting to move into thought leadership where you need a platform, yes, we want to be building that. So I'm not saying to not do it at all. I'm just saying that should be like this much of your time, and the bulk of it should be spent on things like networking and public speaking, active, right? Active business building. That should be this much. Because what will eventually happen as you're generating money, you can hire people to help you with that content marketing, with that social media, right? As you keep speaking and going into summits and networking, those numbers will naturally grow over time, right? And then when you're ready to make that switch, remember we talked about that 2-year kind of scale transition, pre-scale to scale. That's when you'll start to then transition over to that. So it's not that we don't need it, okay? It's just that we need it this much if your priority right now is revenue. And that's a question I would love for you to actually answer in the comments. Right now, would you say your priority is to get to 10K months or 10K followers, right? Is your priority to earn 20,000 or 30,000 a month, or to have 20,000 or 30,000 followers? What is your priority right now? Tell me in the comments. I'm going to come back to this question. Yeah, 10K months. Yeah, 10K months. Money, 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 money. Money. Money, 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 money. Money. Yes. Okay. For most entrepreneurs, you're not an influencer. You're not a content creator, right? Focusing on social media means you have to become a slave to the algorithm, to trends, to creating content, to filming, to scripting, I'm already stressed out. Okay. No, we want to focus on generating revenue. So we have to ask ourselves what generates revenue. And for a lot of service-based, now if you're a product-based business and you're running ads, that's different. Okay. If you're a SaaS, a tech company, you know what I mean? And you've got a good ad budget, you're most likely going to have expenses. You're going to have investors. You're going to have money for ads, right? But as a service-based business owner, social media, ugh. Okay. So then the question is, what is enough for social media content? I shared this the other day, actually, on a talk I was doing. Where was I? Oh, it was on the Back to Business. And I said a minimum would be one piece of SEO content per month. So a YouTube, a blog, or a podcast, and one social media post a week. That's the minimum. What more do you need than that? Do you know what I mean? If making one post on social media is the same effort as making 3 posts, great. Make 3 posts and schedule them to go out throughout the week, right? I just actually shared this. If you're already in the free sales membership or you're going to take advantage of the free trial, I think it was actually this week where I shared how to repurpose your content, right? How do I take an Instagram live and repurpose it? How do I take a YouTube or a blog and repurpose it for social? Because that's your thing too. You don't have to constantly make new stuff up. You've got lots of content, right? Suzanne, it was you that said you've got tons of freebies, right? I bet you could make so much content from those, right? Just use it as inspiration to make a bunch of content. So when you think of content, like social media content, I mean, I don't even know. Friends, when was the last time I posted something new? I always go in like, what is it? Fits in spurts? No, what is that phrase? We'll make a whole bunch and then I'll just like either schedule them or just post them. And then I won't do it for like 3 months. So my last post was July 30th. So not too bad. It's only been like 6 weeks. Because I don't do most of my business. My social media, it does drive a bit of business, but that's not where I get most of my business from. And so that's not where I spend a lot of my time, right? Okay, we have, yes, I'm using AI to repurpose a blog post into 3 Instagram posts. Fantastic. I love it. I currently have 236 content pieces drafted in Trello. I'm dead. Are they made? Are they created? Because that's like 3 years of content. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, all right, Shabnam, we'll see you soon. I think I'm going to see you next week, aren't I? Oh no, I have to send you a link. I'm going to send you the link to get us in. It's on my list for to-dos today. I'm doing a content course and the coach pulled them from 6 long form pieces. Fantastic. Fantastic. So they're already made. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, good. Schedule them, post them, done. But here's the thing. That's not going to build your business. Suzanne, how many, I want to go look, what is your count again? There you are. Hang on. You have 347 followers. So we know that Instagram or social media converts at a rate of 1.4%, I believe. So what's 1.4% of 347? 3? 3 people? 3 people. 3 people. And that's to your existing 347. You got to keep building to keep those numbers going, right? So this is what I mean. Social media converts at 1.4%. Emails convert, I believe, at 4.5, 4.6%. So you're going to get way more conversions off your emails, right? Use social media to build your email list, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about social media, okay? So hang on. Wait, what are you asking here? Yes, let me, I think I actually have it saved in my bookmarks because, I'm a very organized person. I just have to remember that I'm organized. Let me quickly find it. Can I search in my bookmarks? There it is. Perfect. So I'm going to share this link. And friends, this is my affiliate link. So just to let you know, if you use this, I will get a really lovely thank you from Wave. But this is here. Can I share it? I'm not going to share. It's too much. But yeah, check it out. It is really, really fantastic. And I'm telling you, if you want to get the trends without the scroll, I love it. And Wave is just really, and Wave, by the way, is for Toronto. This is hilarious because I hosted and I'm going to come back to what we were just talking about. I hosted a group dinner in Toronto when I was there last fall. And she came and she's like, yeah, I actually know you because I know her from TikTok because she started the trends, like the do this trend now, the queen of trends. She started that on TikTok like years ago. Anyway, so she's like, yeah, I actually know you. I came to one of your events back when I hosted monthly events when I lived in Toronto all those years ago. She's like, I actually was a part of your Facebook group. I came to your events. I'm like, that is awesome. So everything comes full circle. Okay. Not enough to get you to 10K months. Nope. Or 10 pound K months. How do you 10 pound months? It's not. And that's my thing on 1.4% for conversion. So that's what I mean when I say that posting on social media is the slowest way to build your business, the most time consuming, and can be the most expensive. Because if you have an audience of 60,000 people who are very engaged and active, not fake followers, right? But really engaged and active. And you say, I'm launching this thing, make a purchase, here's the link. And they're going to make a purchase because they have that trust with you, right? And they want it, right? But if you have 347, you're talking into the void, right? So then we got to think, okay, so how am I using social media strategically? Because it is a really great tool, right? How are you using social media to network? Right? How are you using it to find other people that you want to connect with? It may be customers and clients. That's going to be a bit tricky because we don't want to cold email people, right? Cold message people. But you can use social media as community building, as a container for potential customers and clients, right? Direct them into your social media and then build that know, like, trust with your content, right? But you can use it for networking for other leaders, other collaborators, right? How are you using it to start your thought leadership journey? If you know that you want to be a thought leader at some point, how are you going live on Instagram to share your expertise, your thought leadership, right? How are you using carousels or reels, right? I like the grid, carousels on your grid, or reels to share your thought leadership, right? If you want to use it as a know, like, trust builder, as a container for people to know, like, trust you on their journey to being ready to make a purchase from you, how can you create content around that? If we think of community building, how can you maybe go live or use it to promote, like go live with people to come and hang out with you, or use your channel, your Instagram to promote in person or like Zoom hangs with your community, right? Because a part of community building is gathering people. Right? So really thinking about social media, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, honestly, YouTube can be considered a social media. It's a bit of a different strategy, but it can be, right? Pinterest is not a social media strategy. It's an SEO strategy, but that's another conversation. What else is there? I mean, does Snapchat? Oh, there's Threads. Twitter, X. I don't use that. So, but you know what I mean? Like really thinking about all of these social media tools and really understanding they are not your business. Your audience on these channels, on these platforms are not your business, right? They are people who are connected to you and like what you're talking about, right? So we have to go, how do I get them from here to buying from me, to working with me, right? Or to opening doors for me or making introductions for me. So how would you use these platforms as a tool? And within, like if we talk about Instagram, and I know for folks that were at CGLCC, I already talked about this. If we look at Instagram as a tool. Well, there's many tools within Instagram, right? There's lives, reels, there's your grid, there's highlights, there's broadcast channels. Am I missing anything? Here, I wrote it down. I don't know where I wrote it. I wrote it down. It's somewhere. Okay. So how are we right there? Lives, grids, reels, highlights, broadcast. Oh, and DMs, DMs, right? So we have these things: lives, grids, reels, broadcast channels, highlights, and DMs, right? How are we using those based on who is following us, why they're following us, and what they want from us, right? So I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to wrap us up on this topic. I'm going to open up to any more questions around social media. Yeah, stories. Did I say stories? Oh my God, I forgot stories. That's my favorite thing. I'm most active on stories. Petra, geez. Stories. Do polls. Share your life. Ask questions. So I want you all right now to take a moment, and I want you to write down, okay, which social media platform is my audience using the most when it comes to what I share, right? What social media platform are my audience using, my future customers using through the lens of what I share? So like if you are, I don't know, if you have a clothing brand, and no, that's not a service. If you are a personal trainer and your specialty is working with senior citizens, right? With seniors. Okay. And so you're creating some content and you're building a community based on seniors who want to stay active and fit, right? Being on LinkedIn is probably not where you're going to go, right? It's most likely going to be on Instagram, maybe on TikTok. My dad loves his TikTok and he follows a lot of fitness folks on there. He sits on his chair and does his little movements, right? So it could be TikTok, it could be Instagram, it could even be in Facebook groups, right? So you got to think, who is my audience? Where are they? Where it would make sense for them to find me and consume my content? And then ask yourselves, why would they follow me specifically? What do they want? What kind of content do they want from me? And that's going to give you insight into the types that where you should be showing up and the types of content you should be creating. But all that to be said, I still want you only doing it like this much. LinkedIn is one I'm curious with. So the thing with that is that, yes, your clientele might be on LinkedIn, but is LinkedIn where they're looking for your type of work specifically? And I would say that you are most likely going to have the better results on TikTok and Instagram because of the nature of your clientele and the types of things, the types of things they probably do and watch and engage in. Yeah. So why social media is the worst way to build a service-based business. And if you're going to use social media, let's think strategically about it. Let's make a few posts and let's think of how we're going to use other tools, stories, lives, DMs, whatever, to start connecting, networking, getting opportunities, getting introductions, right? Welcoming people into our world, building our email lists, right? It's not about posting. It's about how we're using it to connect and pull people into our worlds. Oh, that was a big one. Friends, we are almost out of time. And I think I might say, because the goals one is a really good one. And I really want to go into it, but it's a big one. It's a big one because I've shared lots of different ways of doing goal setting. And I would love for, you know what? Should we do a workshop around the goal? Should we do a workshop around the goal setting one? I could do a whole workshop for us on this. What kind of goal setting works for you, and then how to set goals for you. Yeah. Yeah, do it. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. All right. We got some yeses. We got some parties. We got some thumbs up. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to save the goal setting one because it's epic. It's like 3 pages of my own notes. Like I can't fit it into 10 minutes. I just can't. So I'm going to do a workshop on that. I will set up a workshop on that. What are we at? I'll probably do it for end of October. Okay. And we'll have a fun workshop around that. Okay. Then before we go today, please, if anyone's got any questions, throw them in the chat. Otherwise, I want to share a couple of things on Monday. If you're free, I'm hosting a town hall. This is something I'm going to start doing more consistently with our community. A town hall, for those that don't know, it's an opportunity for all of us to get together and just share what's on our mind and talk about some things, okay? And so, hang on one second. I want to stop this banner. There we go. And so this this round, what I want to talk about is something that is ruffling some feathers in an interesting way, okay? And the question is, do you believe that you could get your business to 100K months, not years, months? And so I say this is ruffling feathers because a lot of folks, there's questions of how can I do it ethically? I'm not even making 5K a month yet. I can't even picture that. There's a lot of interesting feedback coming back. People are like, yes, I want to, but I don't know how. Yes, I want to, but I don't actually believe I can. And so I want to talk about that. And we're going to talk about the stuff that comes up because what did I say, right? All these things come up and that's good. Let's let them come up. Let's see what our thought patterns are. Let's see the fears that come up, right? So I want to give us a chance to talk about a little bit about that, talk about what would that even look like? How would that be possible? Where am I stuck thinking in a pattern that I need to expand, right? Because we're going to talk a lot about what diversifying your revenue streams means in terms of how you get to bigger months without you having to be the one doing all the work, right? So if you're free, that's happening on Monday. I would love for you to come to that. It's going to be just a 45-minute conversation. It's not a how-to. I'm not doing a workshop. I'm not teaching anything. It is purely a let's talk about it. And if you can't come to it, or I don't know, even if you can, I would love for you to share your thoughts. This is just a little 1-question poll on Google. It's totally anonymous. I don't see who answers it, but it's for a chance for you to tell me what your thoughts are around this. So you can go and share that or share it whether you're coming or not, right? I will record the meeting, but it's going to be just for me because I have a feeling it's going to be some pretty personal stuff. So I don't want to share personal stuff, but I'm going to record it and then kind of write a little report and then send that out. So that's happening on Monday at 3 Pacific. Come if you can. Again, if you want to try out the IC Free Sales membership, this code here, if you click on it, that will give you 1 month free to come test it out. We're going to be meeting for our Q&A next Friday for that one. So that's one where you can actually submit questions. And we're going to meet here, but I bring you live on stage with me and we talk it out together. So it's like a big group Q&A session. So come to that. And I wanted to tell you all about something new that I'm offering. This might be something for you. This might be for someone that you know if you and I are already working together. But I've just started offering this business growth audit. And this is a thing where people basically come in, they answer 10 questions. I do a deep dive on their business, their opt-ins, their sales pages, their socials, their website, and everything. And then I give them a report back to say, okay, if you're not growing, here is immediately I can see where things are not happening from your marketing, positioning, your sales process. I can see this is why it's not working. Here are some suggestions and here's a to-do list to go and do. So it's a really fun way for folks to be able to get my eyes on their work and get some support, especially for folks on a budget who can't maybe work with me one-on-one, but would love for me to give my feedback on their business. All right, friends, holy smokes, this has been incredible. Do you know what? I'm going to share one more thing. I just remembered. We also do co-working. Here it is. We do co-working on the last Tuesday of the month, and that's free for our community to come and join. So if you'd like to join us for that, basically bring your to-do list. Bring your to-do list, especially that boring stuff. And it's 2 hours. We use the Pomodoro technique, and yeah, we will get into it. So come and do that. Otherwise, that is it. I'm going to wrap us up. This is your last chance to leave any comments, ask any quick questions. And then I will be releasing all of us to go and have an excellent weekend. This is my last thing of the day. I'm going to answer a few emails here, and then I'm going to also sign off for the weekend. So thank you very much for being here. Whew, we covered a lot today. I love it. I love when we get into a good conversation, a good dialogue. It just means that sometimes I can't get to everything. So I'm probably going to have to start limiting my topics to just 2 topics per round. Or maybe just 1. And I'll let you know about the October workshop. I think that'll be a lot of fun to do the goal setting workshop. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Make it a fantastic weekend. And I will see you all online real soon. All right. Bye, everyone.